Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Chambers Radio Hour. This is Ed Dwyer, Dwyer Advisory. If you were just listening to our first segment, we're coming right back with a little more for Ryan Clark with Code Ninjas. It's such an amazing story, and feel like there's more to tell to this story. So, Scott, let me turn it back to you, and let's hear some more from Brian.
Ryan, talk a little bit, if you would, about women in engineering, women in computer science. I know there's certainly a big push to incorporate coding in for everyone, and we want to make sure that happens. What are you guys doing? And I know you have two daughters, so you can speak to this literally firsthand. What are you doing to encourage women to go into this field?
So I hope our platform empowers them. So, from 1980s to today, we've actually seen a drop in women's participation in STEM activities and technology. Right now, nationally, it's an 80-20 ratio. At our Code Ninjas locations, we're at 70-30. My goal, I would love to see that at 50-50. And a lot of times when we talk with parents, there's perceptions of what female and male students should be doing. And I think the power in our platform is they can all do it, and they all should. And as you pointed out, my daughter, I have two daughters. One is a biology major. She's running one of our locations, does a phenomenal job. And then my other daughter is a freshman, actually a sophomore at Emory-Riddle, and she started in Code Ninjas. She coded for 5 years. She doesn't plan to be a programmer, but the skills she learned has helped her be competitive as an engineer and as an aerospace major at Emory-Riddle. And so she graduated high school a year early. She's just passed her sophomore. She's starting her sophomore year, and she called me one time last semester with one of the engineering fundamentals classes, and she's like, "Yeah, Dad, this is great. It's so easy. I was able to help all the kids know how to code their problems." So that was really cool opportunity to brag about them.
There's so much conversation right now too about what is the path when you go into high school. Should you go to college, right, or the trades? There's so much conversation. We should have more going to the trades. And this is its own track, right? And speak to the numbers. You have 5 locations, and the numbers of students you have coming through. It kind of blew me away when you told us offline.
Well, thank you for that. We have over 1,000 students walk through our doors this summer through the 5 locations. We love what we do, and our kids are passionate about it. And our goal is that when they walk out, they're excited and they want to come back for more.
And they're telling others.
So, more are coming through the doors.
Yep.
I think the other thing that you talked about there was real-world skills and workforce development, so critical.
Yes.
And what we're doing is not just academic. It's not just saying, do you know how to build a robot or code in JavaScript? But when they walk out our doors and they go from white to black belt, that black belt, they're required to complete a project where they build their own app or video game. And this starts their portfolio. So whether they're going to go to college to be an engineer or they want to get right into the workforce, they now have that portfolio that proves they know how to do digital marketing. They know how to build a website. They know how to build an app. And they have a portfolio right there. So you as an employer, you're ready to go. And you can see the proof that they have operational experience.
That's awesome.
And this ties directly into STEM education. It provides the ability for those students to see a true career pathway and what they could do in the future.
Yeah, I think it's an exciting opportunity for them, and it opens so many doors. I don't expect every Code Ninja to be a programmer, and that's not my goal. What my goal is that they're future ready and ready for the job market and ready to achieve the goals that they're looking to achieve. And what we teach them in the dojo helps them do that.
So speak to who the teachers are, quote unquote teachers, like who are running the programs in the locations.
So we really pride ourselves on who's in the doors teaching our ninjas to be successful. Our primary senseis come with real world work experience. They've been programmers, game developers. They come from really good schools. So our first center director we hired has been with us for the last 5 years. He's a graduate of SCAD with a game design and game development degree. He was one of the top 5 esports gamers on one of the platforms. I forget right now. I think Overwatch or something like that. But that's the kind of talent we bring in. Our most recent hire is a computer science major that graduated from UNF a while back. He's working on his master's degree. And what he's doing is, on his master's thesis is just phenomenal.
And SCAD, for those who don't know, is the Savannah College of Art and Design.
Yes.
And it's not just in Savannah, it's worldwide. They have worldwide campuses, a great, great institution.
One of the top 5 game design and game development programs, and it's right there in our backyard.
Yep. So, Ryan, as you look to the future, I know in addition to your brick and mortar locations, you're also involved heavily in education, not only in St. Johns County, but throughout the region. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So my goal is that what we teach connects the First Coast to the Space Coast. And it sounds like, yes, maybe cliche, but as soon as we kind of put these things together and my daughter has that interest, I mean, that's the thing we're doing here. We're getting a huge amount of investment from large businesses to come into Jacksonville and the Jacksonville surrounding areas. And our job is to make sure that we facilitate that with a strong workforce. We work with all the schools, public, private. If you want to be part of this evolution, revolution, whatever you want to call it, but preparing our kids for the future, Code Ninjas is one of those pillars. Working with the chamber, they do great work. Working with our local colleges and schools, they all do great work. And there's other really phenomenal nonprofits in the area, and we're all tied together trying to make positive impact on the community.
And Ed, I know every industry that looks at St. Johns County, and one of our targeted industries is the aerospace industry. Every time, one of the very first questions is workforce. Where is my workforce coming from? And is my workforce going to be trained and ready to go day one? So that is, again, very critical that we begin instilling that early on so these students can see that future in front of them and learn what they don't know, because so many times that's the other key issue, is showing people where those opportunities are.
It's interesting. There's been a lot of conversation with Mike Rowe. He goes around and talks about when companies come to him and say, hey, we're going to put in this data facility and we're going to need 100 people. Where are we going to get them? And he says, you're asking me, excuse me, way too late. You need to start at 8th grade. Have you heard him say that? You got to start at 8th grade. So to Scott's point, when you're doing economic development in Northeast Florida, it's almost you got to be part of the whole story to say, hey, we're working with these kids well before even 8th grade, getting them prepared for the workforce in that space that you're talking about. NASA even be in that space.
That's right. You think about the saying, I played soccer, practice makes perfect, right? You got to get on the field. You only get better by doing it. And we now have 6-year-olds that at 16 will have 10 years of programming experience.
Right.
They're so far ahead of their peers. It's, this is where you want to be.
That's exciting.
Ryan, what do the parents need to know?
So I think what the parents need to know is this is an investment in your child's future. And what you invest, you get back tenfold. And so I'm a big fan of a book called Strength Finders. But what we teach the kids is those strengths of, yes, they're going to learn a tangible skill like programming, but they learn teamwork, they learn collaboration. And so when they think about why are they going to Code Ninjas, it's not just about a child's after-school activity, but it really is about an investment in their future. And if they think about it that way, and they look at what the return on that investment is, you think about my daughter getting into the workforce 1 year earlier as an aerospace engineer, there's huge value there. And you think about what your child could do and the opportunities that exist in the tech sector and the engineering sector. This is as important as being an all-star athlete at your sport. And I think they should find time to do both.
Well, love Strength Finders, by the way. I'm a banker, and we used it for hiring, for team leadership, and so forth. So my number one strength is woo. What is yours?
So I am a strategic planner.
Well, there you go. Well, that was Ryan Clark with Code Ninjas. Great story. Check out their website. There's some great stories in there, and hopefully what you heard today will inspire you to check it out more. And so with that, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be hearing from Joel Sneed and Laurel Burnson about St. Johns County's inaugural legislative day at the Capitol. Be right back.